Hi guys, Robert from robertoreed.com. Been looking at the news lately and seeing the explosion and the popularity of cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin. By now you've probably seen that Bitcoin has gone to over $15,000 per coin. Now this starts a frenzy and everybody wants to jump in the pool with both feet. But before you do that, there may be some information that you need to know so that you can make some wise investment decisions. Now, let me just say that I am not an investment advisor for cryptocurrencies. However, I have done some research that I think you might find very useful. So this is a new series where I'll be talking about cryptocurrencies and hopefully you get a lot out of it. Let's get into it. Hi guys, this is Robert at robertoreed.com, and all the world is in a frenzy over Bitcoin. And as of late, the information, the articles, the tweets, everything, even YouTube videos have gone crazy about Bitcoin and investing. But before we all get ourselves worked up in a frenzy and want to join the wave and take advantage of this particular trend, we should be educated in what we are investing in. And let me just say first that I am by no means an expert in the cryptocurrency space. However, I did do a lot of research and I wanted to make things just a little bit easier for those who are thinking about entering into the cryptocurrency space. My job is to take all this information, compile it, and I want to make it very, very simple to understand. Obviously, when you go invest, consult an expert, go to a financial advisor before you move forward. But I do want to give you some little bit of information and some resources. So should you decide to go forward, you at least be armed with a bit of knowledge. So what I would like to do in this series on cryptocurrencies, and of course we'll touch on Bitcoin. You can't talk about cryptocurrencies without discussing Bitcoin. I'm gonna have a series of videos to really dig into the cryptocurrency. I even looked at a documentary when it was talking about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in its infancies and stuff like that. So the whole entire subject is very intriguing to me. It's very interesting. So I continue to learn more and more and more. I try to absorb as much information as possible. So with that information, I want to utilize that information and dive into the pool, but I also want to take that information and deliver it to you guys, the fellow conquerors. So conquerors, with that, let's get into our little mini series on cryptocurrency. So this first video will serve as an introduction to cryptocurrencies. It's to give some, little information. We'll have videos about, terms and definitions and, what are the top, cryptocurrencies that are out there, and so on and so forth. So without any further ado, let's get into it and talk about some basics of cryptocurrency. Okay, now what new users need to know is that cryptocurrency is roughly the equivalent of using, say, your bank card, debit card, PayPal, anything like that, except that the numbers on the screen would represent cryptocurrency instead of any type of fiat currency like a dollar. That's the money printed by governments. Okay, that's fiat dollars, and it's also typically not backed by precious metals like silver or gold. Now, all a new user really need to do is to really set up a Coinbase account. And there's a link in the description box below if you guys want to sign up for a Coinbase account so you can get started in investing in cryptocurrencies. Now, with a Coinbase, users, they can buy, you can sell, you can store Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, whichever one that you prefer. So you can get started. You can buy in fractions and stuff. I know it scares the daylights out of most people when you look at the price of Bitcoin right now. But let's look at a little bit at the basic concepts. Now, to use cryptocurrency, you don't really need to understand it. It's no more difficult than using a credit card. So it's really simple in doing that. And there's some wallet available. Check the description box below. Now, however, if you want to understand cryptocurrency, you need to understand the concept of digital cryptocurrency, because that's exactly what it is. You know, you need to understand the concept of blockchain, which is both the ledger of transactions and technology, and the concept of cryptography. Now, after all, cryptocurrency is a digital currency where transactions are recorded on a digital ledger called a blockchain. So we need to understand what blockchains are. And every process along the way is secured by cryptography. So the goal is to give you guys a better understanding of how all that connects. So the basic of cryptocurrency in simple terms, it works like this. See, cryptocurrency works, like I said before, like a bank card or a bank credit or a debit card or anything like that. Now, in both cases, a complex system that issues currency and records transactions and balances work behind the scenes to allow people to send and receive currencies electronically. The main difference between cryptocurrency and a bank credit or bank debit is that instead of banks or the government issuing the currency and keeping ledgers, an algorithm does it. That's the basic difference in that. Now, the big question is, what is a cryptocurrency? What is that exactly? So cryptocurrency is best thought of as a digital currency, meaning that it only exists on computers. That's where they are. It's not sitting in a bank vault somewhere. It's transferred between peers, and there's no middleman, like a bank or something. It's peer-to-peer. Transactions are recorded on a digital public ledger, and that is called a blockchain. Now, transactions and the ledgers are encrypted using cryptography, which is why it's called cryptocurrency. It's also decentralized, meaning it is controlled by users and a computer algorithm and not a central government or a central bank. For example, Bitcoin is one of the many cryptocurrencies. Other cryptocurrencies have names like, Ether, Ripple, Litecoin, and they're usually referred to as altcoins, short for alternative coins. Now, the next question would be, how does it work? How does cryptocurrency work? Well, to put simply, transactions are sent between peers from cryptocurrency wallets. They call them wallets. And by matching public codes, which relate back to user-held private passwords, aka cryptographic keys. I'm sorry, I get choked up on some of that. So many syllables. But anyway, there are cryptographic keys. Transactions made between peers are recorded on a public ledger of transaction, and they're called, the blockchains, as I mentioned earlier before. And all the users are given a cryptocurrency and have access to the ledger if they choose to download a full node wallet. Okay, so a crypto wallet, as opposed as holding their coins in a third party like Coinbase. Now, the transaction amounts are public, but who sent the transaction is encrypted. Now, each transaction leads back to a digital cryptocurrency wallet. Now, whoever owns the password or the key to the wallet owns the amount of cryptocurrency denoted on the ledger. Now, when someone sends or receives cryptocurrency, when they send from one wallet to another wallet using a set of private and public passwords, that transaction is queued up to be added to the ledger. Now, many transactions are added to a ledger at once, and these quote unquote blocks of transactions are added sequentially. That is why the ledger and the technology behind it is called blockchain. It is a chain of blocks of transactions. That's pretty much how that works. And it's real important that we get these terminologies, this lingo, because again, every time you get into a new space, it can come with a lot of jargon, but it's important for all of us to know what the jargon is. Now, after seeing it and using it and listening to it and going in the forums and stuff, all of it will be a lot easier to understand over time. So give yourself some time to understand it. But let's look at how the blockchains work. Okay, so I mentioned that a couple times. Let's see how does that work. And basically, when a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency transaction is made, that transaction is sent out to all users with full node wallets. Okay, all of them that have wallets. Now, specific types of users called miners then try to solve a cryptographic puzzle. Okay, using software, of course, which leads them back to a block. It adds a block of transaction to the ledger, basically. Now, whoever solves the puzzle first gets a few newly mined coins as a reward. So that there is a benefit there for mining. Sometimes miner pools computing power and share the new coins. The algorithm relies on consensus. Okay, they all have to agree. Now, if the majority of the users trying to solve the puzzle all submit the same transaction data, then it confirms that the transactions are correct. Okay, so it's peer-to-peer. It all has to agree. It has to come to a consensus, and then it is confirmed. Now, we mentioned mining. So let's see, what is cryptocurrency mining? Mining is really people who are running software and hardware aimed at confirming transactions to the digital ledger. These people are considered miners. Okay. Now, solving cryptographic puzzles via software to add transactions to the ledger, the blockchain, in hopes of getting coins as a reward is cryptocurrency mining. That's what it is to mine. Now, what I would like to do, because that was a lot, that was a mouthful going over it, but let's just summarize, basically. Let's just summarize what we've just learned. Okay, now cryptocurrency can be thought of as a digital currency. Like I said, it could be your bank card, debit card, PayPal, like that. You know, it's just like using a credit card or a debit card. It's just digital money. Also, there are many other cryptocurrencies beyond Bitcoin. Like I said, Litecoin, Ethereum, there's Ripple. There are a bunch. Okay, I think I'll do a video listing some of those cryptocurrencies out there, and then I'll list other ones like the top 5 or 10 or 20 or something like that, and we'll just kind of get familiar with what some of them are. Now, unlike a bank credit, which represent a centrally controlled and issued fiat currency, you know, like the dollar, cryptocurrency is decentralized and thus not centrally controlled. Very important for all of us to understand. Also, instead of a central power and controlling cryptocurrency, an algorithm and users themselves control cryptocurrency. See, the algorithm dictates how transactions work and how new coins are created. And users create peer-to-peer transactions, okay, which are recorded on a public digital ledger. Okay, so everything is out for the public to see, at least most of it anyway. Also, those who confirm transactions by breaking cryptographic codes are called miners. Now, mining is how new coins are created. That's the only way we get new coins. And like Bitcoin decides to put a cap on how many Bitcoins will ever be made. And right now, at the time of this blog, it is 21 million Bitcoins that'll be made. Now, that's not the same for other cryptocurrencies that are out there, but Bitcoin decided to put a cap on it. So once they create the 21 million, that is all the Bitcoins there's going to be. And finally, of course, you don't need to know all the things that we just said. You just have to have at least a decent understanding. Now, if you plan on investing, you certainly want to educate yourself on it. But all you really need to do is to set up like a Coinbase account, for example, and then use it to buy, sell Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin. You can send and receive, and you're okay. You're all set. And of course, you gotta remember to pay your taxes, because it is thought of as a asset. And okay, it is a digital asset, so you do have tax implications that you have to consider when you go into that. You guys let me know what you think. Just wanted to bring some information to you. I'll be bringing a few more videos for you guys so we can all grow and learn the cryptocurrency space together. Until next time, guys, conquer with character.